All right, folks, let's jump into part two of this presentation, which is how to attract new subscribers through organic networking. Now, we all know that networking is super important. It is crucial to growing your business. It is essential to establishing your industry connections. But how do you do it on a customer level? How do you spark that connection that can turn a complete stranger into a subscriber? It's a big question, I know. So to get your mind in the right frame of thinking, I actually want to kick this off with a study from 2018. So this particular study measured how long it took for specific technologies and platforms to reach 50 million users or 50 million adopters. If you were to look at the industry of commercial airlines, it took 64 years to get 50 million people up into the sky. It took 28 years for 50 million credit cards to go into circulation. For the internet, it took 7 years to get 50 million users online. For Facebook, it took only 4 years. That shouldn't be a surprise. But there's one particular technology or platform that took only 19 days to get 50 million users. 19 days. I'm going to give you a hint in a second. Take a minute to think about it. If you don't know what it is, here's your hint. So, Pokemon Go. 2016. In 2016, Pokemon Go amassed 50 million users in 19 days, which is obviously a world record when it comes to downloads, when it comes to user bases. Now, if you think that this game was just for nerds like myself who downloaded it and play it all the time, I think you should try to remind yourself of what this resulted in. So this is a photo of Central Park in New York, and in New York, in Los Angeles, in Vancouver, I saw it in Tokyo, you had crowds and crowds of people coming together under one common interest. Pokemon Go is where leagues were started, where strangers were brought together and became friends. At one point, there was like a Tinder type service that was started up where Pokemon Go players could meet up. Some of them even got married from playing this game. And again, it only took 19 days for something like this to start up. Here's the point. People are much more networked than ever before, and they're spending their time and their money within these large communicative networks that you might not even think of. If I were to borrow from Seth Godin, these tribes are where they make those recommendations on which products to choose, where to go to buy things, who to follow on social media, and potentially for you, who they want in their inboxes. And this is where the opportunity is. If you can identify these networks or tribes, i.e. where they are, where they spend their time and their money, then you can reach new people and potentially convert them into new subscribers for your list. So that's all really high-level theoretical. Let's actually move this into real-world terms. There's two categories of networks to consider that we're going to cover here today, which is on-site and online. Now, on-site displays are similar to what we've already reviewed in the last video. So anything from pop-up displays on site where you can collect email addresses on paper, any kind of community boards where you can post up a sign-up link, event sponsorships, as well. For example, I went to a video marketing meetup in early 2019, and they were offering free professional headshots. The photographer on site, of course, her goal was to make herself present in my network of marketing professionals, and so she offered her services there. The requirement obviously was to get the person's contact information, and that was her method of prospecting, getting new contacts and getting new subscribers to her list. Meetup.com is a great way to meet local niche interest groups that are in your area. A great way, of course, to connect person to person. Whether you're attending or starting a group on your own, there is potential there to find new subscribers. And of course, Facebook. Now, Facebook changed their algorithm in 2018, and what this actually resulted in, if you're not already aware, is a prioritization, a change in prioritization. So any post that comes from friends are prioritized. while any posts that come from publishers, i.e. anybody who's managing a business page, are less emphasized. Now, what does that mean for you if you're running your own Facebook page? It means that any kind of organic posts that your business posts don't necessarily carry the same weight or the same visibility that they once used to in years past. Facebook groups, however, has been immune to that change, and we're actually going to do a deep dive into how to leverage that opportunity later on in this video. So before we get there, let's take an actual look at an example of how to tap into the network of a particular target audience. Now, let's say that you have this particular cohort of baby boomers. They might be freshly retired, or maybe just retired for a couple of years. They enjoy walking. They have grandchildren that they spoil silly. They share a bottle of wine between themselves and friends about once a week or so. And they really enjoy RVing in the summertime on the weekends. Now, if you were to look at where they spend their time and money on a weekly or monthly basis, this is what their actual networks might look like. Now, again, they enjoy walking. They walk a lot, and sometimes, you can turn into a little bit of a sweaty spaghetti when you do, if you're picking up a quick pace. So they typically, when they're shopping for clothes, they do like to look for, moisture wicking type clothes. So if they were in the US, they might be shopping at stores like REI or Academy Sports and Outdoors. In Canada, it might be a store like Mountain Equipment Co-op. Now, since they do walk a lot and they have relatively active lifestyles, they might enjoy trips like, hiking through Machu Picchu, maybe walking tour through Paris. So why not approach these types of business and promote some type of like active travel email list, make connections with businesses like this. They typically have some kind of bulletin board that's already in the store, and ask permission to post up your email marketing list and promote it there because it does match the interests of their existing customers. Now, for this particular cohort, family is really everything for them, and they do like to shop for their grandkids and buy them new clothes at stores like the Children's Place. So you could try maybe running some kind of sweepstakes or contest for a family travel trip, create some kind of entry box where the requirement to enter into the contest or sweepstakes is to submit your email. Connect with businesses like this, ask them permission to leave that entry box at the cash register, and that's another way that you could build your list. You could also do the same thing at your local liquor or wine store. Again, this is the cohort that really is into wine, so why not create a pop-up email sign-up box to promote, say, Tuscany wine tours or Napa Valley trips. Again, when you're trying to think of how to tap into new networks to find new subscribers, the only question you need to ask yourselves, again, is where are they spending their time and where are they spending their money? So I said earlier that I would come back to networking for subscribers via Facebook group. Let's take a look at an example of how you would action this for yourself. So how to network to gain new subscribers via Facebook group. Let's continue on with that baby boomer cohort that really enjoys RVings in the summer times on the weekend. Now, let's say that your goal was to build a following for that RV list. Your strategy then would to be present in any kind of online conversation about RVing so that you could promote those kinds of trips in Europe or New Zealand for those who enjoy the activity but might not have considered doing it overseas. Your call to action would be to sign up for the list for expert advice, special pricing, and ensemble exclusives that we would offer for trips like this. So this is how you would actually gain subscribers using Facebook groups. Now, this is done in 4 easy steps. The first is to research interest-based groups. In this case, we're targeting RV enthusiasts. So try to find groups that are local, either in your city or in your state of province. This really means just going into Facebook, using the search bar, and typing in search queries to find the groups that are relevant to you. Once you identify those groups, join and track the ones that allow you to promote on certain days. Now, don't forget, Facebook groups are really about community, and some of them are restrictive and don't necessarily permit businesses to promote themselves. So whichever groups you decide to join, make sure that you read and follow the terms and only join the ones that actually allow you to self-promote on certain days. This could be maybe 1 or 2. This could be 20 to 200. So make sure that you keep a list of who they are and what days you're allowed to post. Once you've identified which groups you want to join and engage with, make sure that you actively participate in a meaningful way. In other words, be a good citizen. Contribute to the group your expertise. Don't come in all salesy and make it all about you. Again, Facebook groups really are about community, so participate, engage, but at the same time, try to position yourself as a subject matter expert without trying to sound like you're closing on a sale, per se. And then once the day actually comes when you can promote yourself, that's when you can post a link to your sign-up form. By that time, hopefully you've already established credibility in those groups and that you've shown to people that you're not there to just grow your list or to sell a cruise or anything, but that you are an enthusiastic member of the community who is there to help people and somebody who is there to deliver value.